Hello, and thanks for joining us on Sport Pizza today. Of course, you know it's the biggest, the boldest, and where you get the absolute best in ever exciting world of sports. My name is Brownson Wana, your host. Now, there are lots of things trending in the world of sports. Nigerian Professional Football League is absolutely buzzing. Last weekend, we saw 2 away wins. We celebrate away wins in our league because we know how difficult that could be. Now, this weekend, we're going to be seeing the biggest football game. Manchester United, they are in very top form right now. Now, even though Arteta didn't do well in the FA Cup, but you must give their league form some credence. Now, this weekend, the both sides will be clashing. Who will come out tops? We have 2 coaches which I think they're still in the apprentice level. Arteta seems to have gone halfway, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks like gradually is building the experience. What will happen this weekend? We'll be giving you that and much more after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let's get started. Olakunle Philip joins me on the show today. Kunle, good to have you.
Thank you very much, Brownson Iwana. It's great to be here once again to talk sport. And just like you said, a lot of sporting activities took center stage last weekend. And I'm really excited about what went down in the Nigerian Professional Football League. 2 away wins being recorded. And of course, Abia Warriors and Wolves continues. And you remember that, the coach, Emama Amapa Kaba, was giving an ultimatum and is yet to meet up with all of that. Wait to see how things pan out. And in English, English League, the FA Cup games took center stage. I'm not really surprised at what Manchester United did because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the team are at their peak right now. And I'm looking forward to that big cracker between Arsenal and Manchester United next week.
All calendars will be clear, definitely, Kunle, and I can't wait for that game this weekend. But let's look at the fact that the transfer window will come into an end on Sunday. And it's been shocking to me how things have panned out. This is one of the most quiet transfer season in a very long time. I can't even remember the last time we have this very quiet January transfer. Top clubs are keeping their players, and players most likely moving to other clubs are players who are not first team players. Most of them on loan. And Kule, can we say it's the pandemic? Right now, shortfall of revenue, clubs are not making as much money. People are trying to trade with caution.
I think you have said it, Brownson. So most of the clubs are trading the part of caution because the financial status were dealt a big blow because of the coronavirus pandemic which erupted, and so many of the clubs couldn't make as much money that they ought to have made if not for the if the pandemic didn't erupt. And so every other club are trying to take caution. They are trying to be cautious. They are trying to keep their players, and then none of them really wants to release any.
And with the financial fair play, financial fair play rules still staring at them in the eyes, the likes of City do not want to cover money from their other source of business.
Yes, because if they do that, remember what happened to teams like Chelsea, and even that has happened to them at some point in time. So it's really very important for the clubs to take the path of caution, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And it's really telling on the transfers for this year. It hasn't happened like this in a very long time.
Yeah, and it's a sad one for top clubs. I would think the likes of Chelsea. If you even say Chelsea want to sign players, you ask yourself, where are they signing? What department?
What department? Because remember the last time they signed in a lot of top players, and many of us felt, come on, they've got what it takes. They can even pick first 2 teams from what the caliber they have at their disposal. Right, they are suffering right now.
Is Lampard the problem? When you look at Timo Werner, for instance, you look at
playing Timo Werner out of position.
Now,
I think that's another.
The last game, Werner even played from the midfield. So right now, very soon, Werner will be a defender under Frank Lampard.
I think that's one of the things he really has to work on. And some people are still saying that, he's not a proven coach. And I quite agree with them. If you're saying, and we're also looking at that, we also have to look at the fact that some other coaches also started the way Frank Lampard did. And, it's just sad and disheartening at the way things are right now with Chelsea. And, when the teams are not doing well, who do you heap the vituperations on? It's the coach that you look at. And, of course, all the aspersions will always go the way of Frank Lampard. And it looks like he said something some couple of weeks ago. He said, what is happening to Chelsea right now, what's happening to him as a coach, happened to some other coaches. But because of the fact that the club management had trust and they put their trust in the coaches, they were able to get their redeem, their mojo
so
back.
in other words, Olowo shouldn't reel the wheel.
Yes, that's what he's actually saying right now. Remember with Arteta as well,
yeah.
he was losing all the games, almost 9-10 games he couldn't win before he got back to form. Also, let's not forget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tops the EPL table right now, and also
he had his own bad times.
Yes, he's really having a good time right now. So he is actually pledging, he's telling Ibrahimovic, Roman Abramovich, to also look at that and also tilt towards that. We wait to see how things will actually pound out with him.
There's absolutely no doubt that the transfer window this season has been very, very slow. You know, one would have thought that Leo Messi or Barcelona should have cashed in on Lionel Messi this January. Now, if that doesn't happen from now till Sunday, what that means is that Lionel Messi will be a free agent and would move for absolutely free in July. I don't know if that's a smart move. But now, maybe this story might excite you. Barcelona hope they can sign Manchester City striker Sergio Aguero. Of course, Aguero is 32. And Bayern Munich defender David Alaba, who is 28, on free transfer in the summer when when their contracts would elapse. I think they can get them for absolutely free. It would be a good deal. But there might just be a twist, especially to the Aguero own.
Yes, right now, one of the things that Barcelona are looking at is the fact that they are financially, they don't have the kind of financial capability right now to get top players because of like we said earlier, the pandemic and all of that. They were not able to make, proceeds the way they ought to. So in the place of, I remember the former striker that left, the team, they are looking at having Aguero fill that vacuum. Remember that they are even having challenges in terms of scoring goals, getting in the goals right now.
So, meanwhile, Suarez at the true is scoring from all cylinders with Atletico.
Yes, it's doing very well. And we don't know the reason why they opt to sell some of those players they sold at that time. And it's really having adverse effect on the performances of the team right now. So they are looking at getting Sergio Aguero into the team. Remember, Sergio Aguero is a proven striker, scored over 256 goals in the colours of Manchester City, and of course spent a decade with the team. It's just for this season that I will say, owing to injuries and all of that, he hasn't been able to score a single goal this season. But of course, any day, any time, you always want to agree with me that Sergio Aguero is a top-class striker. And then one of the reasons why they also want to get him, you spoke about, the fact that they are supposed to cash in on Lionel Messi because his contract is going to be expiring in July. It's going to be going on free agent. So what they are looking at is that that's why I think the reason why they want to sign Aguero is political. It has exigency in that because they feel that Aguero is an Argentine and is a very close friend of Lionel Messi. If they can get him a security service, it can actually help them to convince Lionel Messi to stay. But whether that will see the light of the day, time will surely tell. But of course, if they're able to get him, to be a good buy. For David Alaba, he has every other team wants to have David Alaba in their fold. Even Juventus also wants to have him, and then one other club I can't really say. Real Madrid also wants to have David Alaba. But then, if Barcelona can actually play their cards very well, they should be able to secure his service. Yeah,
it would be a very good deal for any club. Even Super Eagles of Nigeria wants Alaba.
That was back then.
That was back then, right? But then sports sometimes could be funny. Now, Kule, well, I say the good news that finally Mesut Ozil is now a Fenerbahce player. And it was a very emotional moment for him. And he says he's going to be a Ghana fan.
I love that.
For life.
I love that.
I was surprised because with the way he was treated by the club, you would think he should be living with lots of bitterness.
He was only treated like, at this, I think it was just last season, stroke this season that, he got those treatments were meted out to him. The previous coaches treated him well, and he was a pivotal member of the teams back then. But then, like we spoke about, like we said last week, it's actually political. Let's not talk about it. Right now, he's saying he can give a big sign of relief right now, and he's ready to give his best for Fenerbahce. The president of the club came out to say they don't have the financial capability to pay his wages. That's about 67.
It's about 13 million pounds.
Yeah,
yearly.
67,000 pounds on a weekly basis. I remember that he has over 350,000 pounds.
That's a huge pay cut. Very huge.
And despite that, they still can't afford to pay it. So the coach, the president is telling the fans to come out and help them contribute.
You have £1, £2. You know those days. Is it?
It shows how zealous and desirous.
Is it stationary stores? There was a time that they raised money from their fans, to put the club. So this thing happens in football. Even remember when Juve went to acquire Cristiano Ronaldo. At some point people thought it was too much, and Juve president at that time came out and said that he wants support from the fans. Now the deal was, went through, and within 2 weeks, they recovered the money. So Ozil, I think, whichever amount is being spent on him, jersey sales alone, can recuperate that money in a matter of time. Now let's move away from that, and now it's no more news that Liverpool lost at the FA Cup to Manchester United, after they were also beaten by Burnley. That's back-to-back loss from Liverpool. No thanks to lots of injuries that have also rocked the Liverpool side. But this weekend we'll be seeing a mouth-watering fixture. Manchester United against another informed side headed by Mikel Arteta, talking about Arsenal. It's going to be a crunch time, must be said.
It's going to be an absolute cracker. And, Manchester United are in top form right now. They are in the form of their lives, and they've never lost away from home this season. They are in imperial form. So it's really going to be very massive. For Arsenal also, the last 6 games as well, they've been consistent, been churning out wins. And I think the previous one before, the last was against Crystal Palace, where they played out a goalless draw, and then they went out. They also went to win their next game. So both teams are in form, but if you look at the forms of both teams, I really want to say that Manchester United really has a lot of their sleeves right now. But then it's a battle between two top clubs. In the last 6 meetings, I think Arsenal has dominated. Arsenal has been the better team. They've won more than Manchester United. So I think I'm looking forward to a great cracker. Having at the back of my mind also the players and the coaches having at the back of their minds that this game is massive for them. Arsenal needs to move up from where they have right now. And for Manchester United, they need to consolidate. They need to remain at the top, because teams like Manchester City are looking at
City with a game in hand.
With a game in hand, they are looking at Manchester United faltering, and they're moving up, and of course, taking that position from them. So it's really going to be very massive, and I like the way Manchester United are taking the games one after the other. You can't really say the priority of Manchester United right now, but we know that really they are calling for the league right now. It's their major priority. At some point in time, when I saw the lineup of the players that took on Liverpool last weekend, I knew that yes, they had also FA Cup in their plans to also win. So it's really going to be very massive. But then I think that I'm an Arsenal fan, but for Arsenal, it's really going to be very difficult.
For a team like Manchester United that haven't won T-Cup, okay, I think their last victory was under Jose Mourinho, the season where they won, I think, the Carabao Cup.
They won the Carabao, and they won the
Europa League, yeah. So, maybe like some 3-4 years ago, thereabouts. Yeah. So, at least they've touched title earlier than, Arsenal.
Arsenal won the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Arsenal are the kings of the FA Cup. The Kings.
You have come again. Let's take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League. It's been absolutely buzzing. Now, so far, I think they've been doing well. They've done well so far with this 6 game played. Now, on this show, it's good to also let you know that when you do well, we praise you. When you don't, we lash you. So today we are heaping encomium on the Nigerian Professional Football League, having played 6 games. If from the 8 games, things doesn't go well on the show, we are journalists, we are going to report it. Kunle?
Yes, so far so good, Brownson. The teams, I mean, the organization has been, you will not give it 10 over 10, you'll probably give it 8, 9. Match day 6, we are not witnessing crisis, unlike what we used to have in the past, where between match day 1 to 3, you begin to see encroachment. Yes, the fans are not there. You see some officials at one point in time or the other encroaching, attacking the referees and all of that. But this time around, I think the organization so far, you won't give them 10 over 10, but I think 8, 9 over 10 is good for them so far. Security-wise, everything has been working out. We hope that things will continue in this manner.
And of course, Nasarawa United has been very, very impressive this season. Unbeaten, 6 games played, they've won 4, drawn 2. And of course, 2 of those draws has been away from home.
It's a good one for Nasarawa United. They've started on a high-flying note, and we hope that they will continue in that vein. And winning 4 games and drawing 2 away from home is a very massive result for them. So far, so good. But they really have to ensure that they get notch of those wins now, because by the time the big teams begin to turn out with, remember, Eibar are still awaiting. At times they start slowly, and then they get their mojo, Kano Pillars as well, they begin to turn out wins, and it will be absolutely difficult for any team to get them, to displace them. When I regard them as a team like Juventus, because when Juventus gets to the top of the Italian Serie A,
it's very hard to relinquish.
So Eibar also are also in that same level. If any team that wants to win the league right now must ensure that they turn out those wins right now, amass as many points as possible when the other teams are not doing well. For Nasarawa United, so far so good for them.
All right, that's what it is as far as the Nigerian Professional Football League is concerned. Now let's move away from the NPFL and talk about the Tokyo Olympics. 2020 was supposed to be the original date scheduled for that tournament to come up, but no thanks to the COVID-19 that forced the postponement to, let's say, 2021. But now the news is not a very good one, because the rescheduled Tokyo game may be behind closed doors. Olympics behind closed doors, I think, would take away the glamour from the sport. Don't forget that Olympics, most people take leave from work. It's the time that people relax with their family and all of that. But playing it behind closed doors, even for the athletes, I don't think it would be the same.
The pandemic is still. I mean, a lot of people
but,
are still being infected.
I think they should extend it a bit towards the end of the year. The vaccine is out.
What gives you the assurance?
Once vaccination, I think once vaccination starts, we'll start seeing decline, and then we can have people come to the stadium and enjoy the sport.
Sure about this vaccination and vaccines and all of that. I don't really know how it works. Though it has been, they've told us how it operates, but then we have not seen how it works yet. The people it's just being administered to the people. If we have to extend till the latter part of the year again, and probably, the pandemic refuses to stop, then we have to extend till 2022. Then remember that we're going to be having another Olympics in 2024. So it will be logical for them to ensure that it sees the light of the day right now, so that we know that in 3 years to come,
they'll have time to plan.
Another one.
Well, even though I have my reservation about that, I really think that it should be extended with fans. It's very important. Now, still on the COVID-19, the WTA has created tournaments exclusively for players unable to leave their rooms during the quarantine for the Australian Open. Now, 28th player draw will start on 3rd of February. I think it's a very good way to mentally keep these players. You travel to Australia. It's a very long distance to go for a tournament, and because of COVID-19, you are locked in your hotel. So I like the concept WTA is trying to play. Maybe it's going to be virtually. I don't know how that's going to work, but these players will be engaged in their hotel rooms.
How is that going to be virtual? If it's going to be virtual, then there's not going to be any competition. It's just going to be like they're playing some kind of games. But I think that there's a way they're going to do it. If the people the players are being quarantined they can, there's a way they can actually fashion it out where they will give them the long distancing, social distancing, and all of that, and they can go ahead to play. This is very good from my own perspective, because now these guys are there. No, sporting activities that they can engage in. This will be a very good one to actually propel them and prepare them ahead of the Australian Open. So for me, it's a good one.
It's a good one indeed. Now let's move away to mixed martial arts, and Conor McGregor again had his rematch. It was an exciting one. You know, before that, a lot of people wrote his opponent off, but of course it was a whitewash. Former two-world champion Conor McGregor was left stunned on his return to the UFC as Dustin Poirier claimed victory in the rematch at the UFC 257. McGregor came out of retirement for the third time to face the 32-year-old, but he was duly spanked. And of course, he lost on the last round. It was a good bout. For all of you that didn't get to see the highlights, you got to see that and understand what I'm talking about. Welcome back. Now with that, it's a wrap on the show today. I want to believe you had a very good time. We did on the show, Kunle.
Absolutely.
And of course, we hope to give you the very best again next week. But don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. Kunle, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bronson. And we hope that we'll do it again together next week.
That's what it is. Next week will be a very good time. Now, don't forget that COVID-19 is still in the air. If you must go out, please protect yourself, use the face mask, and of course, you can get a pocket-size hand sanitizer in your pocket. Stay safe. My name is Bronson Uwana. Enjoy the rest of your day.